Hello everyone, welcome to Discover This. I'm Tom Walker. Today we are at A&W in Yuma, Arizona, and I was wondering how many of you remember the A&W drive-ins from back in the day. You know, where you would pull your car in, either order from the squawk box, or maybe someone would come out and take your order, and then when your order's done, they would bring it out on a tray and hang the tray on your window. We had one fairly close to our house when I was growing up, so we went there often. So one thing I don't remember though is the A&W Root Beer stands. Anybody remember those? Those are a little before my time, but those two are long gone. But there's still some of the old A&W Root Beer stands are being used by other businesses. So I thought maybe we'd take a little time and go out and check out some of those and see what they're being utilized as now. Now the majority of them are in San Diego County, California. So we're gonna have to drive out there and we'll take a look at them and see what's going on. Just a comparison of prices today compared to what they were back in the day, back in the old drive-in days. So as we're heading to our various root beer barrel stops, let's just go over a little bit of A&W history. Won't get too far into it, but in 1918, Roy Allen was a hotel proprietor in Flagstaff, Arizona. And he came across a guy, a pharmacist, I believe, that had a recipe for root beer. So he ends up buying that recipe. Then in 1919, Roy Allen had moved his family to Lodi, California, and he opened a root beer stand and started selling this root beer made from this recipe that he had bought, and became fairly successful with that. In 1922, he partnered with a guy by the name of Frank Wright. And so there's your A&W, Allen and Wright. And they expanded the business a little bit and made it even more popular. Then in around 1924, Roy Allen bought out Frank Wright and then started franchising the A&W brand out to people all around the country. So that's when you started seeing various root beer stands, or A&W root beer stands, the root beer barrel stands, the drive-ins, and things of that nature. And the drive-ins, if you remember the drive-ins, they were very popular. There's still a number of them around the country, in various parts of the country. There's an advertisement here that has a gentleman by the name of William Sanderson. If you remember him, if you're a fan of the Newhart Show, this is Larry. Remember Larry and his brother Daryl and his other brother Daryl? So this is William Sanderson, Larry, and he's doing an ad for A&W Root Beer. And there's some various other Hollywood celebrities and whatnot had done advertising for A&W throughout the years, but anyway, very well known for their drive-ins and things of that nature. So let's get to some of these former root beer barrel stands and see what's left of them. Okay, so we are in Escondido, California, starting off, and this used to be an A&W root beer stand, root beer barrel stand, back in the day. It's been this establishment for a long time. Very good place, very popular. Back in the 70s, it was a place called Michael's Drive-In, and I'm not sure what it was before then, between A&W Root Beer Barrel and the Mexican place, but this is what it is now. And again, so just one still being used, which is good. So Escondido, California, on Broadway, right off of the 78. Okay, we are now on East Main Street in El Cajon, California, and this is Rosendo's Mexican food, now been repurposed from the original A&W Root Beer Barrel restaurant. Almost at the corner of Madison and East Main. So this is what's left in El Cajon, California, of the A&W Root Beer Barrel. And just a view from the other side, so you can see what the building looks like. So we're now in San Diego, California, on Lisbon Street. And this is, again, one of the former A&W Root Beer barrels. It's now been repurposed. This one also is obviously a Mexican food establishment, but at least it's being used. So we are now at 1550 Palm Avenue in the city of San Diego, and this is one of the other former A&W Root Beer stands. And as you can see now, it's a CBD superstore. Over the years it was a flower shop, a print shop, and I'm not sure if it was anything else, but print shop for years. So we are very close to the US-Mexico border and just feet away from Imperial Beach. If that gives you any kind of direction is where we're at. So just one more in the collection. So last but not least, we've made it to National City, California. And National City's the city just next door to the city of San Diego to the south. And we are on Highland Avenue, and this is the site of a former A&W Root Beer barrel. It's now a flower shop. As you can see, they've kind of reconfigured the front, made it more square, got rid of the rounded edges, or the round barrel shape. But this was an original A&W Root Beer barrel stand back in the day, but it's still in use as this flower shop, which is good. So just a little more history here. If you want to come and see this or come and buy some flowers, we're at basically 16th and Highland in National City. 16th Street is right there where the light is. So this is the last of our root beer barrel stands in the San Diego area. So that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen, for our little travel of sort of roadside attractions of the old root beer barrel stands from A&W. Now there is one more that you can go see and eat at, and it's in Boron, California. So the highway between Barstow and Tehachapi, the very northeast part of Edwards Air Force Base, Boron, California, at 27115 20 Mule Team Road is an establishment that's appropriately called The Barrel. And you can go there and get something to eat, something to drink, and I encourage you to do that if you're ever in that area. It's a great place to eat. There's also one in Amarillo, Texas at 3102 Plains Boulevard in Amarillo. Now, that one I think is closed. I read something online that it closed a number of months ago, so I don't know if something else moved in there or if it's just done and it's just empty and sitting there. But you can check that out in Amarillo, Texas. And then also there's one more in Mesa, Arizona that's been abandoned for many years, but it's still standing last I could see on the old Google Street View. But that's at 6430 East Main Street in Mesa, Arizona. So if you're in that area, but it's been graffitied and vandalized and Anyway, it's kind of a mess, which is a shame. So I thank you for watching this video and taking the time, and we will catch you next time on Discover This.